Hey y'all, what's up? So I thought I would make another video today. Now, this one is just my personal opinion. Other people do feel this way, and so, I do want that to be known. So today's video is why I think social media is ruining our society. Now, this is a very hot topic, especially like in today where like the internet is like, bigger than what it ever has been. Like, I remember like when I was like 19, that's when like Instagram first got started, right? And like never did I imagine that it was going to, blow up, as big as it has. And I used Instagram for a long time. I used Facebook, MySpace, all that stuff. I feel like those two are like more old school. I feel so old, even though I'm just like 31. But yeah. So here's why I personally think social media is ruining our society. So guys, one, and this is I don't think it's really talked about enough. Cyberbullying is a real issue. Like we have people who are killing themselves over people harassing them, bullying them online. You know, people's careers are getting destroyed, reputations are getting destroyed because people want to, use social media as an outlet, which I know it's like a way to like connect to people and get your voice heard, but some people are using it in very toxic ways. Um, I'll never forget this story I seen on TV once. A little 13-year-old girl, she committed suicide because this boy that she was dating online broke up with her, broke her heart. So she killed herself because he was saying these really mean, nasty things to her. Well, comes to find out, y'all, it was actually her neighbors that created that fake profile. And it was like a big huge thing. And I remember like saying like that's just so sad. Like it was the neighbors this whole time, and this poor little 13-year-old girl didn't even know that. And I know like a lot of people also get their news from the social media websites. And this is another fact, which is number two. You know, um, a lot of things you see on social media, like some of it is actual news, but some of it, y'all, is just rumors, right? Like a lot of this stuff, isn't properly, interviewed. It's not properly researched. A lot of that stuff is people's personal inputs, right? Like they're just reporting bits and pieces. And I still think even with the actual news, like, they don't tell us like 100% of everything that's going on. But that is another reason why I just think social media is unhealthy, is because like people are only telling you bits and parts of the story that they want you to hear. They're not sharing, their part in the situation, or they're not, telling you the 100% truth, right? And the third thing, and I'm guilty of doing this too, is catfishing. Now, for those of you who don't know what catfishing is like someone who creates a profile, like earlier, like I was mentioning with the poor girl who killed herself that was 13. They basically create this profile, and typically they get pictures of someone else. A lot of times they don't even know like the person who they're getting these pictures from, and they live in this persona, this online persona that, they basically can be whoever they want to be. When I was doing it, I did it because I wanted to, honestly, I didn't want to be me. I wanted to have conversation with people. I just felt like no one really wanted to talk to me, right? Like nobody was really interested in like, talking to me, like, whether it be romantically, just friendship wise, like nobody was really into that. And so I wanted that attention because I wasn't getting it in real life, right? So like I created this profile, you know and the guilt finally took me over, and I admitted to somebody that I created this fake profile, and I haven't catfished since then. I think catfishing is very wrong, you know and it was just, yeah, like y'all can be whoever you want to online. Like there's people are even doing scams, which is, a fourth thing. Is that four? Sorry if it's not four, it's three. But people are scamming people online. Like one time, like, I've actually been a victim of fraud. Like, I remember this was this gay app, like, sorry, I should say gay app, sorry, this app for gay men called Adam for Adam. And this guy seen a picture of me on there, and he actually conned me out of like money inadvertently, because like I went and cashed a check because I thought I was getting paid to do this photo shoot, right? You know, but that is also something that you need to be very careful of, is when you're on social media or really anything online, is just always know that like these people's intentions may not be what they're advertising or what they put out there, right? Be very cautious of it. You don't want to assume something, but at the same time, you want to be very cautious. And so another time that I almost got scammed was, I remember I was looking for a place to live, and these people were wanting me to like send a deposit before I even got the keys, right? Or anything. And I've never heard of that, right? So like, just for a little FYI, like if you're new looking for a place, you never had one before, like always, 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 you have to see the house in person. No pictures online, guys. Like, you have to be able to go in the house, see how everything's working, see how, sanitary is. Like, you got to know about the neighborhood, the yard itself, like any bad history, and you need to have keys in your hand, and those keys need to work for the door. So if they're trying to get money out of you and they're not willing to do any of that, chances are it's probably a scam. So please be cautious of that. Um, but yeah, guys, that is some things that, like, I just feel like social media is just very unhealthy about society. Another one that I want to talk about is, I feel like social media has, ruined our chances to keep relationships with one another. Typically now, like, don't get me wrong, social media is a great way to keep in contact with like friends and family, who've moved like miles away. And, it's also like the dating apps, it's a great way to like meet people online and find love, right? But it's actually robbed us, in my personal opinion, it's robbed us of actually going out and spending time with people we care about. Like, it's actually robbing us of, building those connections in person, being able to actually see one another. You know, I would much rather, see people I love and care about in person. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to actually hug them. I want to tell them to their face, I love you. I miss you. I'm so glad you're here. Right. And vice versa. Right. And I just feel like social media has robbed us of that. What happened to us, like the days where families would sit at the dinner table and, just talk to each other about their days, like things that are bothering them, things that they feel accomplished about. Like, like a lot of times now you go out and you can see like people on their phones, like the whole table's on their phone, they're not like really discussing with each other. And it's just like, what have we become of a society? And it's just like, guys, I don't like that. Like, we need to build these connections. We need to keep these connections strong, and we shouldn't just rely solely on social media. Um, but yeah, guys, that is my little spiel about social media. I personally do not use any social media. Like, every now and then I may, get lonely, try to give love or whatever. I'll say it like that. Love another shot. But I'm eventually I always delete those apps because, like I said, like, well, not on this video, but on another video, I talked about like how like you're less likely to get like clicked on like a dating app or a hookup app if you're like dark skinned and like you're like over 30. So for me, I'm like automatically canceled, right? And then there's the ones who like don't like my body and whatever like that. So yeah, I'm definitely, like I said, I basically have stopped using social media. Every now and then, I might get on like, a dating app or whatever, but like now it's just like I don't even use any of that stuff. Like, I don't have Instagram, I don't have Facebook, I don't have Snapchat. I don't have Grindr, which was the one I know I've talked about on here before. Grindr is just a very unhealthy, toxic environment. At least for me, it was. And just I typically, like I said, just stay away from social media. But that's all I've got, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to the video. Um, Drop in the comments below. I haven't done this before, but drop in the comments below how you view social media. Okay, thanks, guys. God bless. Happy Sunday.